Hey there everyone, welcome back. So today we will be working with a nice piece of orange agate, which this is the first time I've ever turned it. And I did some research into this wood and it's really fascinating. So this is a type of fossilized wood that's undergone the process of silification, which means it's where organic material um, in the wood is gradually replaced by silica-based materials like quartz and agate. Um, really interesting. When you turn the wood, you'll actually see the minerals in the grain and in the form of the wood. Make sure you stick around for the ending picks to see it. It is extremely hard, but wonderful to turn. I'm going to say I'm feeling like this is my new favorite wood. I'm going to definitely see if I can look for some more. Um, it sometimes gets mistaken for cocobolo, but very different. Again, later when I start finishing the outside, you'll actually be able to see some of the silica-based material in the wood. Really interesting, but excellent turning wood. So let's get to a shape here, and we're going to start, now that we've got the tenon and a recess, if I need it, established. I'm going to start working on the outside shape, and this piece was only probably 8 by 8 by 3.5, so not a huge piece, but plenty of wood to work with. Starting to see this beautiful grain and amazing features of this wood. I needed to take the outside in just a little bit more to get rid of those last flat spots, but once that was done, just kind of going for more of a very simple bowl shape, but I am going to do an inlay on this piece, which you will see when I flip it around. Getting the outside nice and smooth before I do any kind of friction polish or anything like that. This is the Axe abrasive paste. Love this stuff. And again, in a moment, you'll be able to clearly see what I mean about the minerals. I did not know what it was. It wasn't until I got online and did a little research that I realized what I was looking at. So we're going to get this turned around now. Start working on the top and the inside. So we'll get this nice and flat, and you're going to see that I'm going to leave a large, wide rim around the top outside, and that's going to be the location of my inlay. Kind of marking out for that now. and I'm just using a parting tool, and I'm going to go down kind of deep, and you'll see why as I go forward. Again, if you can get your hands on any of this orange agate wood, do it. And I think you'll see what I mean and why I liked it so much. It was so nice to turn, and then just, you know, absolutely beautiful once you kind of get it finished up and polished and all that. So I'm going to, again, leave a large-ish recess in the top, and that's where I'm going to put my very deep inlay, and it'll make sense once I get that inlay done why I've done it this way. So I spared you watching me put the inlay in. What I used was a product called Milliput. Now this is not the color I use. This one is turquoise blue, but I wanted to show you, if you haven't seen it before, how it works out. Each pack comes with like a little cigar shape, feels like clay, and you literally just cut what you need, equal amount from both, mix them together really, really well. It's like putty and clay. Push it into either small cracks, or in this case, an inlay, and wait overnight, and it's hard as a rock, and it's awesome. Anyway, if you haven't tried this, I recommend it. It's really, really cool to play with. So we're back to the lathe, and time to get this flattened back out again. This Milliput product, if you haven't used it or played with it at all, it actually turns away very nicely. It is hard, but not as hard as your traditional epoxy resin. But as you'll see in the end, it polishes up very pretty. It doesn't have the sparkly, shiny kind of thing going on that you get from mica powder, epoxy resin, but it polishes up very nicely, as you'll see. Stick around for the end picks. So what I'm doing is I'm actually bringing in the sides, the exterior sides of my bowl smaller, and what I'm doing is I'm matching it up with the outside of that Milliput. There you can see it. So what it's going to look like is that I've got a black epoxy resin rim all around the bowl when all is said and done. Anyway, that's the plan. Stick around, see if it works out. Going to get to hollowing, and again, the plan is to do the exact same thing on the inside of the bowl as well. So we'll establish the wall thickness, and again, this time it's a little bit critical because I need it to not be thicker or thinner than the inlay that I've already established. Now, I always tend to comment on how the wood turns, and again, I've said it already, but this wood turned beautifully. It was really a pleasure to work with. I can't wait to get my hands on some more. Kind of doing some finishing cuts now to eliminate the wood on the inside of the bowl so I can expose that inlay rim and blend everything nicely. As you can see, it still looks like wood on the inside. It's not exposed yet, but keep an eye on that and it will be in a moment. I'm going to establish our depth first so I don't end up going through the bottom, end up making a funnel. This is just a nice round carbide tool. I find that you can kind of just very lightly scrape away in cases like this. It's very handy. Most everything is done with that 1/2 inch bowl gouge. Kind of my go-to tool. Now we're just making sure that it's not too thick and too heavy, and that I've got the interior wall thickness very uniform. Little finger caliper work there. Negative rake scraper just to get a little bit more of the material out, but mostly just to eliminate tool marks and that sort of thing. So time to get a little sanding going and get this. Of course, I had to resand the outside because I had brought the wall thickness on the outside in, so had to refinish some of the outside. A little isopropyl alcohol just to get all the dust and everything off before we use any of the Axe abrasive paste or any of the finishing products. In this Milliput, you can actually use it on, or use the abrasive paste on the Milliput just like you would any other resin. This product is actually really amazing for just filling cracks and that sort of thing because it dries in 24 hours and it dries hard as a rock. We need to finish the bottom now. Definitely wasn't liking the look of the bottom, so I decided to kind of round things off a little bit, as you'll see. But I'm still leaving that center portion there so I can put my branding emblem in. I drilled that out at the drill press at just the right size. We'll sand up a little bit and we'll do the same finishing that we've done on the inside and outside. We'll do that on the bottom now. You can see those little mineral specks in the wood grain. And again, make sure you stay tuned for the finished pics so you can get a real close look. It's really interesting. Guys, if you like what you see, please consider subscribing and leave a comment. I really love hearing what everyone thinks about what I've chosen to do with things and give suggestions. So please offer that up. And I really appreciate all the support from everyone. This is a little of the tung oil from Axe. Really brings the beauty out of this wood and gives a nice shine. Again, thank you so much for watching, everyone. And leave your comments down below. Let me know if you've worked with this wood before, and give me an idea what you think about the inlay rim, and if you would have done something different or not. Stick around for the after pics. They're coming up, and I will see you next time.